As the 2024 Paris Olympics have concluded, let's delve into the rich history of Paris, the city of love, and uncover some intriguing facts and stories about this iconic city. Becoming one of the most influential cities in the world, Paris's journey is filled with fascinating events, cultural transformations, and iconic landmarks. The history of Paris dates back to around 250 BCE when a Celtic tribe known as the Parisi settled on the Ile de la Cité, a small island in the River Seine. The Parisi were a fishing and trading people who established a village they called Lutetia, which later grew into a more significant settlement. The name Lutetia is believed to have been derived from the Latin word lutum, meaning mud, which reflected the marshy terrain of the area. In 52 BCE, the Romans, led by Julius Caesar, conquered the Parisi tribe during their campaign in Gaul. Under Roman rule, Lutetia was developed into a prosperous city, complete with typical Roman features such as temples, baths, theaters, and an amphitheater. The city expanded from the Ile de la Cité to the left bank of the Seine, where many Roman structures were built. As the Roman Empire began to decline, Lutetia's importance faded, but it remained a vital location due to its strategic position along the Seine. By the end of the Roman era, the city's name evolved into Paris, derived from the name of the original Celtic tribe, the Parisii. This transition marked the beginning of Paris as we know it today. During the early Middle Ages, Paris became a significant center of power and culture in the Frankish kingdom. In the 5th century, Clovis the first king of the Franks, made Paris his capital after converting to Christianity. This decision elevated Paris's status and set the stage for its growth into a leading European city. The Middle Ages saw the construction of several iconic structures, including the Notre Dame Cathedral, which began in 1163. The University of Paris, established in 1150, also became one of the most prestigious centers of learning in Europe, attracting scholars from across the continent. The Renaissance period brought about significant changes to Paris, as the city became a center of art, culture, and architecture. French kings, particularly Francis I, who reigned from 1515 to 1547, were patrons of the arts and commissioned grand projects that reshaped the city's landscape. The Louvre, originally a medieval fortress, was transformed into a royal palace during this time, laying the foundation for what would become one of the world's most famous museums. Paris continued to expand beyond its medieval boundaries, with new neighborhoods and bridges being constructed. The city's population grew, and it became a thriving hub of commerce and culture. The 17th century was marked by the reign of Louis XIV, the Sun King, who left a lasting impact on Paris. Although Louis XIV moved the royal court to Versailles, he continued to invest in the development of Paris. The construction of the Palace of Versailles and the expansion of the Louvre were significant undertakings during this period. One of the most notable contributions of this era was the creation of grand avenues, squares, and public buildings that enhanced the city's grandeur. The Place des Vosges, Place Vendome, and the expansion of the Tuileries Garden are examples of the urban planning that characterized Paris during this time. The late 18th century brought the French Revolution, a period of upheaval that dramatically changed Paris and France. The revolution began in Paris in 1789 with the storming of the Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny. The revolutionaries sought to overthrow the monarchy and establish a republic, leading to years of political turmoil, violence, and social change. Many historic sites and symbols of the way for new developments, including the introduction of republican ideals and the transformation of Paris into the political and cultural heart of the new French Republic. The 19th century was a period of significant transformation for Paris, particularly under the leadership of Emperor Napoleon III and his prefect, Baron Georges Eugene Haussmann. From 1853 to 1870, Haussmann carried out an extensive renovation of the city, known as Haussmann's renovation of Paris. This massive urban renewal project involved the demolition of crowded medieval neighborhoods and the creation of wide boulevards, public parks, and grand buildings. Haussmann's work gave Paris its modern layout, with iconic boulevards like the Champs-Élysées, and established the city's reputation as a model of urban planning. The 20th century saw Paris continue to evolve, facing challenges such as 2 world wars and political and social upheavals. Despite these challenges, Paris remained a center of culture, art, and intellectual life. The city was the birthplace of significant art movements, including Impressionism and Surrealism, and was home to famous artists like Pablo Picasso and Henri Matisse. Paris also became a symbol of resistance during World War II, with the city's liberation in 1944 marking a turning point in the war. The post-war period saw further modernization, with new infrastructure, housing developments, and cultural institutions. Paris is adorned with numerous historic statues and monuments that reflect its rich history. Some of the most iconic include the Eiffel Tower. Completed in 1889 for the World's Fair, the Eiffel Tower is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world and a symbol of Paris's innovation and artistic spirit. The Arc de Triomphe, commissioned by Napoleon Bonaparte in 1806, the Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died for France during the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. The Statue of Liberty. While the famous Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor, a smaller replica gifted by the United States to France is located on the Île aux Cygnes in the Seine, symbolizing the friendship between the two nations. The Place de la Concorde, the largest square in Paris, Place de la Concorde, is home to the Luxor obelisk, a gift from Egypt that dates back over 3,000 years. Today, Paris stands as a testament to its rich history and cultural legacy. The city seamlessly blends its ancient past with modern innovations, making it a global capital of art, fashion, cuisine, and diplomacy. Visitors to Paris can stroll through its historic streets, explore world-class museums, and experience the charm that has captivated people for centuries.